Randall? Oh, there he is. Okay.
Well, I hope everyone has some energy left. Still good morning. I'm glad that you are here. I want to thank Ben and all the hardworking people that make this possible. I think it's an amazing summit anyway. Welcome to the early stage AGI technologies in education, medicine and science, but we will add arts as well. Because arts is very important. We are humans are creative beings. So this is the fundamental that makes us human. My name is Erik Schoppel. I'm the moderator of this panel. I have a background in cognitive and social neuroscience, and I studied trust systems in the brain, which is very relevant for AGI systems as well, because they will develop their own trust systems. I'm a lecturer at the Hans University in the Netherlands, so these topics are actually touching me personally, and I'm glad that we have such a diverse and inclusive panel. I think that we have a great conversation the coming 35 minutes. So what I want to do, without further ado, that everyone is introducing themselves within 2 minutes. So, go ahead.
My name is Deborah Duong, and I am CTO of Rejuve.ai, the longevity network that is AI powered. I've been a computational social scientist for over 30 years, applying AI to understanding nature, including biological and social realms.
I am Joshua Johnson. Hello. Thank you so much for having us. We're looking forward to talking about education and science and different things today. I have somewhat of a balance of a background. I started in China, did my MBA, and was in Sinopharm, which is the largest pharmaceutical supply chain in China. So I have some science background, but now focusing on education and gaming. So we're doing gaming with Sophiaverse, and then Jam Galaxy. Now we're bringing that to life in Roblox. So we've been focused on Roblox and gaming and gamifying what that looks like, the future of the world and the spatial web. And then also very interested in augmenting human purpose into AI. That's what my thesis way back when, talking about AI ethics, kind of before it was a thing. So that's very interesting to me, and hopefully tomorrow maybe we can talk about it at the unconference. I was talking to Max more about that. And Pain to Joy is the curriculum that we have. So that process of helping people in that daily journey, and their personal daily growth and lasting joy. So.
Hi, I'm Randall Kuhne. I'm the founder of the Carbon Copies Foundation, and I'm also originally from the Netherlands. I've spent maybe the last 20 or more years trying all kinds of different ways to help advance work on so-called whole brain emulation, so getting towards the technology that allows mind uploading. And in our foundation, we try to do this by, first of all, educating people about it, and secondly, by being a place where we can find how to put people together into projects that deal with the most crucial challenge of this time in that direction. We want to go in the direction where we as humans can participate in this bigger ecosystem of intelligences that's coming up. And I think that, I don't know if we're going to get to it in this conversation, but there are some really interesting new things that have happened in neuroscience because of the way that artificial intelligence has allowed us to collect and correct data, so that we now have really large-scale data sets that would actually, I think there's even odds that we could, for example, create an upload, an emulation of a fruit fly right now if we knew what we were doing, using the data sets that are available from the complete electron microscopy data stack of the fruit fly.
Nice. Hi, I'm Diane Krause, and I'm president and co-founder of the Jam Galaxy music platform. And I'm also a saxophonist in Desdemona's Dream, and it takes me a while to get ready, so I'm halfway there. Because we have like rehearsal and sound check right after this and then the show, so I hope you all come. I think it's in the Infinity Room tonight. But yeah, a little bit of my background. In 2011, I had like a vision downloaded to me for the global brain, and I have to put this all on paper, but just in listening to everybody's conversations, I believe I have a way to put this all together. So, and actually working with you is going to be probably pretty instrumental in that, I think. And I've been studying, I started studying artificial intelligence in 2017 and studied really hard and learned everything I could just so I could understand it. And then like a year later I met Ben and I said, oh, I have this concept for a global brain. And he's like, oh, that's funny. I just wrote this paper 3 weeks ago about a concept for a global brain. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And so yeah, I think we're in such a cool place right now in history, and things are going to be changing so rapidly, but in really good ways. I grew up with a dad who's a rocket scientist, Ken Arison, and he built the Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 spacecraft propulsion subsystems and hydrogen thrusters, and he also worked on the Viking program. So I've always been a daughter of the stars, and I really think about existence as really cool, and I really see the beauty in everyone and how everybody is just an absolute perfect miracle. And that's what we need to remember, and that's what artificial general intelligence is going to help us remember. And I also just heard that there was a panel that talked about ancient intelligence, and which is really cool, because I think of AI as ancient intelligence, and it's just a way it's going to help us tap into all that there already is, that already exists, and artificial superintelligence already exists as well. So we're just going to be tapping into that as we move forward, and at a pretty quick pace. So we can build systems, though, that can meet people where they're at to start to understand this journey. And so yeah, I'm just really excited about this, and excited to be here with all of you. What an incredible event we've put together, and what incredible people to be able to introduce benevolent artificial general intelligence to the universe. Yeah.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Kennedy Shaw. I'm CEO and founder of Rejuve Biotech, sister company to Rejuve AI. I'm an evolutionary biologist by training. I was mentored by Michael Rose at UC Irvine, and we are here building a drug discovery platform based on our neurosymbolic AI and crowdsourced human data, and with the goal of solving aging-related disease and human longevity. Rejuve Bio is currently doing a crowdfund. The QR code was up there. It'll be back up there in a bit, so you can link to that if anybody is interested in learning more about that. So, thank you, Eric.
Well, thank you. As you can see, a very diverse panel. That makes the conversation great, hopefully. What I find interesting, this topic has already impact on society, but also on the economy. As a lecturer, my students ask me how does my future looks like in 4 to 6 years. And honestly, I don't know, because it's changing, the technology is changing so fast at the moment that what they learn at the moment is obsolete within 4 or 5 years. So it's not a fundamental crisis that we have in education, but we have to think about this, and that's why I'm great that we have this summit, that we can have this kind of discussions. So the main topic is how can we facilitate the rollout of early stage AGI technologies in beneficial domains as education, medicine, science and art. So what I want to do, for example, Kennedy, what is your expertise or vision on this topic?
I think in the field of biomedical research, what will be really important is ensuring the diversity of our data sets. One thing that's really exciting to me about the Rejuve project and being a part of it is that we have an opportunity to finally gain a diverse, robust human data set to use our AI to develop real life-saving pharmaceuticals. And in the march towards personalized medicine, that's going to be crucial, because the paradox of personalized medicine is that in order to understand one person really well, you have to understand a lot of people very well. And we've kind of failed in the biomedical research community to do that up until now. Most human data sets that we have from human trials tend to be wealthier white people, and we won't be able to have personalized medicine for everybody unless that changes. And so I think that's really a crucial thing in the early rollout of AGI in biomedical research, is making it accessible for everybody to contribute their data, making sure that there is an adequate and appropriate incentive for people to contribute their data, and letting them be a part of the creation of these products and this research to solve aging and death.
All right, great. Thank you for your answer. And Deborah, can you elaborate something on this topic as well?
Yes. Well, the most important thing for us to do in the near term is to apply AGI to science, because AGI also has the potential for disinformation, and human beings themselves don't do science very well. We can only handle reductionistic information, so our job is really to take all those individual pieces of knowledge and put it together in a coherent picture. And I believe AGI is what can help us to be holistic about science and discover all the causal mechanisms behind it, so that we can take all these, scattered small truths and make larger truths out of them.
All right. So you're from the deterministic school, so to speak. A little bit.
I don't know. I don't see why that is deterministic. I think we have willpower to affect how things go. For example, we may only have a short time to have control because we don't have control over ASI.
Well, I'm a little bit from the same school. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So if you go then to the other realm, from the holistic view, maybe Randall can say something about this.
From the holistic view?
Yeah.
I don't know if my view is really holistic, but what I found anyway is that first of all, of course, there's a really strong connection between advances in AI and AGI eventually, and neuroscience. There's this virtuous cycle that happens, right? Because as you learn something in neuroscience, you find out more about how cognition is done in the brain, and that helps you come up with parts of this AI or AGI puzzle that we're still trying to figure out. And AI helps you do things in science that you otherwise could never do. So it's not that people are being replaced, for example, or at least in science right now, they're not being replaced by AI. It's that the things they can do are very different. Right now, you're seeing a huge paradigm change begin to happen in neuroscience, for instance. Like I was at the annual neuroscience meeting in November. There are 30,000 scientists there. 90% of the posters were still all about, say, you make a little perturbation here, you have a hypothesis, you're testing something up here, you're doing a prediction, that's it. You're not really learning about the system and how it works. But there's a small kernel of people. That's all you really need, a small kernel and then some enthusiastic young people who aren't stuck in whatever their lab's already doing. And so you're seeing that there are 200 maybe scientists who understood that right now we're switching to a realm where AI is giving us access to the kind of data that you need, that you can do large-scale reconstructions of circuitry and really understand what's happening by combining what's going on in one brain region with the other brain region and seeing exactly what's happening. So you're not doing these correlational studies, but instead when you want to predict what's going to happen, you can follow how the activity is really moving down the system. You couldn't do this before. So it's changing the nature of what's possible in neuroscience. It's changing what new people getting into that field can do.
Yeah, all right, great answer. So Joshua, maybe you have something to add to this?
Well, I think to always play the other side, to understand the here we have the researchers and brilliant minds, but the average person may not understand how we are processing this, right? So I always say, to go back to the theme of this, education, I always say education is marketing, marketing is education. So when we have it for the masses and why we're doing it in gaming, 70 million users a day in Roblox, gamifying that, when you have education and you gamify it, and you gamify it in a way with neuroscience and different ways to understand information, and you market it correctly, when you role play becoming something, like in Roblox, sometimes you show 9 to 11 times more retention of that information, right? So with that number, like even if you have 2x, the compounding amount for education, if it's daily, then by the end of the year, you do the math. So I think